In the province, people don't talk about the missing anymore. They just stop saying names. Because every time someone vanishes, the tree moves closer. It grows near an old dirt road where no houses face it directly. By daylight, it looks wrong in a way you can't quite explain. Its trunk bends slightly forward, as if it's listening. The bark is thick and cracked, layered like old, dried flesh. Nothing nests in it. No birds, no insects. Even the ants seem to avoid its roots. At night, the ground around it is always disturbed, as if something large and heavy returned just before sunrise. The first person it took was a man walking home drunk. People in the village had heard him laughing earlier that night, his voice echoing down the empty lanes. Then his laughter cut off suddenly mid-sentence. The next morning, only his slippers remained, placed neatly side by side at the edge of the road. There were no footprints leading away from them, only deep, unsettling lines scraped into the soil, dragging from the road toward the base of the tree. The villagers looked at each other, a silent fear passing between them, but no one spoke of it. Then came the second, a woman carrying food to her sister's house. She never arrived. Days later, a group of searchers found her woven basket hanging from a high branch far too high for anyone to have reached. The food inside was crushed into a pulp, soaked with something dark and sticky that smelled like rot and iron. When they looked closer at the trunk, they noticed something horrifying. One section of the bark was swollen, bulging outwards. It looked as if something had been pressed into it from the inside, a shape pushing against the wood, like a body trying to escape. It backed away slowly, their hearts pounding in their chests. The third was a child, and that's when quiet fear turned into raw, unrestrained panic. The entire village searched everywhere. They combed through the forest, waded through the river, and climbed the nearby hills. They found no sign of him, nothing, until one of the searchers, exhausted, noticed the fresh soil beneath the tree. It hadn't been dug up. It looked like it had been pulled apart from below. With trembling hands, they started to cut away the dirt. And there, tangled in the gnarled roots, they found small bones, snapped clean and wrapped tight like prey caught in a trap. The roots were worn to the touch, still alive. It was an old woman who finally whispered the truth, her voice a dry rasp. She said the tree doesn't chase. It waits. It waits for the road to be empty, for the night to be silent. It waits for someone to walk alone, thinking to themselves, "I'm almost home." That's when the roots move. They slide out of the soil without a sound, cold, wet, and impossibly strong. They wrap around your ankles first, just enough to stop you in your tracks. When you fall, they crawl up your legs, your arms, your throat. The tree knows exactly where to squeeze. It doesn't need teeth. The roots press until your ribs crack, until breathing stops, until your body's completely still. Then it pulls you under, slowly so the earth doesn't scream. One night, a group of men, fueled by anger and desperation, decided to end it. They brought machetes, cans of gasoline, and whispered prayers. But when they reached the road, they all stopped breathing at once. The tree was no longer standing near the forest's edge. It was standing in the middle of the road, closer than it had ever been. Its branches hung low over the path, dripping a thick sap that smelled like blood. And the bark now had shapes in it. The vague outlines of faces stretched and frozen in silent screams, their mouths open as if crying out from inside the trunk. One of the men, in a trance of terror, reached out and touched it. The entire tree pulsed, a slow, deep thrum, like a giant heart beating. They ran. They didn't look back. By morning, the road was empty again. The tree stood back where it belonged. But it was thicker now, taller. It looked fed. Now, when someone goes missing, no one searches. They just look at the road. If the tree is closer, they know. And if you ever find yourself walking alone at night and you hear something behind you, Not footsteps, but a slow, dragging sound. Don't turn around. Because trees aren't supposed to follow people. And if this one has reached you, it's already decided you won't be leaving. Thanks for watching.